Hi everybody, I hope everyone's doing well. This video I will be doing a tag video, so if you guys are interested, do stick around. So this video is called the Makeup Beginnings tag video, and I want to thank Alex of Monsieur Alex YouTube channel. I'm sure you guys have come across him, and he recently tagged me in this video as well as included me as one of the 4 people he shared in his I Love Them and You Should Love Them Too video. So I really am very appreciative and very flattered that you think of me in that light, and so I really wanted to do this video and get it up fairly quickly. So I have the questions with me here, so if I'm looking down, it's only because I'm reading it off my phone where I listed the questions. So I think the way Alex described this video was just to give you some sort of a personal timeline, makeup timeline, I suppose, on where you are at in terms of your relationship or usage of makeup from the beginning till now. The very first question is, what made you get into makeup? I was always interested in looking good, I suppose. That sounds very shallow, but just trying things out and experimenting with things was always something that was natural to me. I didn't start very young, actually. I think maybe around 17, 18, but very minimal. It was really just powder. I mean, face powder and, just lip balm or very minimal thing. I don't even think I verged into mascara fairly quickly. I think I really started using makeup a bit more and trying to learn more about products when I was in my early 20s, and especially in my late 20s. I was definitely wearing makeup then. Maybe not in the best way, but I was certainly putting makeup quite frequently. The next question is, what was your go-to makeup brand when you started using makeup? Now, this one, there is no one particular brand that I gravitated to, but I remember using quite a bit of Clinique, especially my lip gloss. I mean, there were a few products that I knew were my startup products. There was a Clinique lip gloss called Tender Heart, and it was just my go-to. It was the type that once I finished it, I would automatically replenish it. I was not in that state of being adventurous, experimenting and finding new things. If it felt like something worked for me or it was my look, I just stuck with it. I also used NARS. Orgasm was my go-to blush. Benetint when it first came out. I also had a NARS lip gloss NARS lipstick, and I think it was Dolce Vita. That's about it. I wasn't really very much into foundations yet. It was a very odd, minimal beginnings, but those are some of the key products that I knew I started with and I replenished as soon as I was done with. Earliest makeup product that never worked for you. I can't really recall of a specific one that early on, but I think a product that really, I guess you could say, disappointed me or didn't work for me was Shiomura face products. I believe they are made of good quality, but for some reason, especially their complexion products or their foundations, never really impressed me. And the formulation and the product itself doesn't feel bad or poor in quality, but for some reason, just the way that it sat on my skin just didn't really work out too well. And it could be a play of different factors, really. Maybe at that point I also wasn't very versed in skincare and how to properly use products, but if I can recall of one thing that didn't work for me right off the get-go, and I was fairly disappointed early on because of all the things I used to hear about it, it would be Shiomura face products. What is one brand if you could only choose one to use for the rest of your life? So this is certainly a no-brainer for me. It would have to be Chanel. I am a fan of the brand, obviously, but beyond that, a lot of my holy grail complexion products are Chanel, and they are perennially everywhere I go, even on my travel kit. Even for clients, I do end up grabbing for them because they just work universally well. I love all the foundations they've come out with, no matter what finish or no matter what, no matter if you're looking for light coverage or full or HD or anti-aging. I think their powders are amazing. So Le Teint de Chanel or Bronze Universal, I think, is a classic that no other brand can come up with. And their Juice Contrast or their blushes are the best, in my opinion. They're not too pigmented. You can't really go very wrong with them because they just give you the right amount of pigmentation and a very beautiful glowy finish. I love their highlighters as well, and a lot of their nail varnishes are definitely holy grail. The colors they come out with set the color trend or tone for this season. And lip products, I mean, there are other products that I do think are better made in terms of finish or performance than Chanel, but Rouge Coco Shine, the Rouge Allure Lax, just across the board, it would still be the brand that I have the most of in my collection, and I really think are worth the money. Skincare is amazing as well, so since they've never really failed me, it would have to be Chanel. The next question is, what would you want to improve, technique or restrictions? So I think the way Alex described this was, would you want to improve on how you apply things, or would you rather restrict your usage of, I think, a variety of products? I think that would be, improving in technique is always welcomed, of course. Why not? If you can find a better way to apply something, or you have a tool that will help you apply a product so much better, I'm all for it. But the more I've gotten into makeup, using it, working with it, using it with other people, and just becoming sort of well-informed or an expert in it, I've learned how to edit my collection more, edit the way I shop, or I choose cosmetics more. I'm not so much of a sucker anymore when it comes to marketing pawns that brands come out with. I know what I'm looking for and what I want, and I think being able to edit yourself in that way, in a very well-informed, I guess you could say expert kind of way, I think is something that I veer towards more. So I have a higher standard when it comes to restricting what I use or what I purchase, and I think being well edited in the products that you use is a really big advantage. Then you don't, it's not just in terms of cost or spending, but you also are less cluttered with things that don't really work well. You'll always get new things. Every so often, brands and the beauty industry will bring out, collagen plumping things or new tools or new machines to better improve the way we improve or the way we apply products on our skin. Pays to be able to tell more what truly will work and what is truly just a marketing scheme. So I guess it would really be improving the way you edit or restrict your use of products. Do you feel confident walking out without makeup? It's funny because the more I've gotten into makeup, I've become more confident in my own skin. There are the days that I don't put makeup at all and I just put sunscreen and maybe a lip balm. I wouldn't say I enjoy it because I think that makeup really makes such a big difference. I truly feel more beautiful, and the way that I carry myself is certainly different when I put my face on. But the more I've gotten to makeup and have just mastered my skincare and my skin itself, I've really been comfortable with walking out barefaced or very, very minimal. And I don't get insecure anymore, but definitely makeup makes me feel better, but I am confident enough to walk out without makeup. a brand new thing that doesn't get a lot of love. I think that's the way I understood the question. I don't think it's a particular product, at least at the top of my head. I can't think of a particular product, but I think it would be maybe a particular brand. And even I haven't really verged much into it, and it would be Estee Lauder. And I think it's just the way the marketing of the brand approaches you. It just seems very old school and not really that much fun, and they barely really come up with anything that's very innovative for you to pay attention to. But Estee Lauder is the mother company of MAC, and as far as I know, it's just MAC, but I think there is another brand. So just based on that, and based on the price range it has and the longevity of how long it's been in the market, I know that it's the quality it has, and for it to last that long, it certainly is not given as much love as it should be. I mean, double wear concealer is something that I carry with me all the time now. I think it's amazing. Their skincare I've sampled a couple of times, and I think it's very good as well. So I think as a brand, especially with younger market, it's not really getting as much love as it should be. And the last question is, a product that was hyped and failed for you. I know what this is. This is fairly recent, and I was fairly actually sad that it failed for me, and I did try a couple of times, and it's from my holy grail brand, which is Chanel. Late last year, about I think around fall or one of the latter months, they released the very innovative contour product, which is the Juice Contrast and Notorious, and Alex and a few of the other people that I truly listen to when it comes to product feedback or reviews liked it and were tremendously floored with it. And I remember being between Asia and North America at that time, and I was able to catch the release of the product in both, and I wanted to love it so much, and I kept on going back to the counter a couple of times, coming in with no contour or no bronzer just to see if maybe it would work. Tried it with different looks, and every time I was set to go back and just grab it, I didn't really care if, you know, I loved it or not. It was just more of having it. I felt like it was something as innovative as the Bronze Universal or Soleil Tan de Chanel, but every single time, once I've applied it on the counter and I've looked at it even in natural light, it just made me look truly sallow. It wasn't even flattering or non-flattering. It wasn't even bland. It was just bad. It made me look bad, and I just could not justify buying a product that constantly or consistently, no matter how hard I tried or what technique I used, made me look bad. Given the price point, a Juice Contrast is about 50 plus US, so in Canadian dollars with the tax, you're looking at almost 60 Canadian. So it's not an inexpensive complexion product, so I could not justify the price and how it made me look, and it truly made me sad. It wasn't even that I just walked away from it. I really tried so many times, and in December when it was launched in Asia, in Hong Kong, it was never even launched in the Philippines. It wasn't a product that they brought in here, but when I was in Hong Kong December, it was launched about the time I was there, and I went back a couple of times, and still it really looked horrible on me that I just decided not to go for it. But I tremendously felt that. But so I think that's about it. Those are the questions in this tag. I hope that was interesting for you guys. The next few videos, one that I really have said I've been going to do is my retinol serum and all about retinol, and I'm also planning to do a MAC Cosmetic basics everyone should have in their kit. So I hope that was